Death is a profound mystery, shrouded in sadness, fear, and beauty. Do we journey to heavenly realms, other dimensions, or dissolve into the unknown? My journey starts here.
Hi there, Paranormal Triage here. I'm Brenda, and I'm here to share my journey as an empath. So, part of our Paranormal Triage logo or motto, or however you want to say it, is pursuing the spiritual awakening. So, I want to share my journey with you about what that means and what it means to be an empath, where I started my journey, and where I'm at now with it. So, I've graduated quite a bit from then to now through just the experiences I've had since not only we started this group, but since I became aware that I had some kind of ability. So today I would just like to share some symbolism with you. Um, so in 2022, my dad passed away. 7 months later, my daughter passed away. When my daughter passed away, I wanted to create a butterfly garden in our yard in honor of her because she did like butterflies. And then a little over a year and a couple of months, I lost my mom, which would have been last February on Valentine's Day. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll just combine the two and I'll just make a bigger butterfly garden and have something special out there for both of them. And that's just something I've always wanted to do, not only for myself, but for Leanne's 3 children she left behind. So this past weekend, I went to a Paracon, and that would have been September 14th, I think. And I met a medium by the name of Sarah Lemos. Now, Sarah Lemos, she kind of scared me because I'm a little timid of mediums, because I don't know if I'm afraid what they'll tell me or what they're not going to tell me. Because I have been to those kinds of shows before, the big shows where they walk around and they pick people out of the audience. And you're always that one that's like, oh, I wish they would pick me. I wish they would pick me. But I've never been picked. So I went to her class, and lo and behold, she picks me not just one time, but twice. And I'm not going to tell you all of that reading. We'll do that in another video because I kind of like to make this one short. So as what happened is she was talking about my mom, and then butterflies came up. And she goes, does that mean something to you? And I'm like, well, not really. I mean, she grew flowers, and that was about all I had to say for it. And then I was like, in my mind, I'm like, well, I did want to make Leanne a butterfly garden. So that was kind of weird. So maybe it was interrelated. But then my daughter came into the picture in the same class, but only, so she gave me a reading on my mom, told me that my mom was there and told me things that she wouldn't know. And then my daughter came, and then she told me things about my daughter that she wouldn't know. So after all of that, coming home, I still have the butterfly thing on my mind. Why is this all relevant? And then it dawned on me, oh, well, I wanted to make Leanne a butterfly garden. That really had nothing to do with my mom, because all that came from my mom showing up. So today I go shopping, and lo and behold, what do I buy? Is my granddaughter a pair of tights with butterflies on it. And then me and my husband talked about, well, maybe the butterfly garden was relevant. But yeah, then I just pick out these silly butterfly tights for my granddaughter. In a few days, it's my youngest granddaughter's birthday. She'll be 3. And I get her package in the mail, and lo and behold, it's got butterflies on it. I was like, wow, that's weird. So in all of this, I kind of connected that my mom used to grow flowers, and of course there were butterflies there. My daughter liked butterflies. I bought a pair of butterfly tights, and then I get this package with big butterflies all over it. So I decided to look up the symbolism of butterflies, because that's what Sarah told us to do. If you're seeing things in groups, like groups of 3, or you keep seeing the number 15 or you see groups of butterflies, that's probably your spirit guide trying to tell you something to pay attention. So I'm like, I'm going to go look this up. So I did. So the symbolism of a butterfly is come in many forms, and it really depends on your belief system. So what I read was the butterfly is a powerful and well-known symbol with distinct meanings in different cultures and contexts. The most common things a butterfly can symbolize are transformation and change, hope and rebirth, spirituality, and the soul lightness and the delicacy. So that kind of made a lot of sense to me because I've been, struggling in my life after having so much loss and trying to pull myself together. And I really feel like I haven't grown much. I've grown in being angry. I've grown in being resentful, but that's not a healthy way to grow in. So I think this butterfly symbolism came full circle because I'm not growing and my spirit guides are telling me, woman, you need to grow. I think we get lost in the day-to-day life, our work, our families, our financial situations, our political situations, and it can really, really just be heavy on your life, and you just forget that you need to grow in a different direction. You just kind of get stuck in that little cocoon, and that's where you stay. Nobody wants to be a dying cocoon. We want to be born and be reborn and, turn into beautiful butterflies. So that was super interesting, and that's kind of how I connected it all. So I'm going to add you to the stage here. So I also pulled up the 10 spiritual meanings of butterflies. And I love butterflies. They're beautiful and they're a dying breed, and we all need to plant more butterfly gardens. It would be a shame not to have butterflies anymore. So anyways, again, when I read all these things, it says butterflies symbolize transformation, whether it's in a relationship, your love life, just whatever it can be. It just means transformation. And I think we're all in a place in our lives where we need that. And we're not getting there because of all the stuff that's going on in the world, and we're just being blinded. We need to step out of that and try to figure out how we're going to become the beautiful people that we're supposed to be. Because at one point, we did feel beautiful. And I can't speak for everybody, but I think lately it's hard to feel beautiful about anything in the world. So I took this as like, this is my spirit guide telling me I need to do something different. I need to start transforming myself into something different. So not only I could be healthy for myself, I could be healthy for my children. So the first spiritual meaning is embrace the transitional phases of life. So obviously we all know a butterfly has 4 distinctive periods in their life. So, they're the egg, they're the larva. We like to play at the caterpillars. Then you learn about the chrysalis, which is the pupae. That's where they grow in their little cocoon, and then they become an adult. So we're born in all of that. So we build ourselves, and we're here, and we're living, and it's day to day. But where do we go from that? We have to go through those stages so we can become better people, if that makes sense. There's a reason that we have stages of life, and how we grow in those stages is very important. And I can say probably a good majority of us get lost in those phases, and we need to get back on track. So like the butterfly, you may be called to embrace the distinct phases of your life. So that's what we need to do. We need to start embracing those phases in our life and move forward. And then in that, you're always going through a metamorphosis. So not everybody can go through a complete metamorphosis because it's hard. Sometimes it's your financial situation, it's your family situation. Your dynamics might make it hard to move forward, like in my case. So as such, in butterflies, when they grow from being in their little cocoon to becoming an adult, that's what a metamorphosis is. We're changing, we're becoming something new, something different, and hopefully something better. But in that, you can metamorphosis into something not so great because the dynamic or the environment around you. So we need to recognize that and, change that. But anyway, so if a butterfly has come up for you, this could be a sign that you are in the middle of the rebirth process to become an entirely different manifestation of being. So for me, I went from being a mom to a grandma and back to being a mom again. And let me tell you, that's the most difficult thing I've ever had to go through. Very difficult. It's a lot of changing, acceptance, going through all the levels of anger, accepting, sadness, madness, more madness. So, to me, I think these butterflies is a symbol for me to say, hey, you need to take a look around and start doing something different. Okay, so don't ever make me say metamorphosis again, because I really can't say that word. So the next one is consider using biomimicry to achieve your goals. So basically, butterflies can use their wings to blend in with their environment, kind of as a camouflage, kind of like when we go hunting and we wear camouflage clothes, so animals don't see us. So the purpose of it is to hide from their predators. I think in life we do the same thing. When we go through a lot of things, or stress is just getting to us, or we just want to disappear from the world, we kind of go into our little holes for safety, so people can't hurt us anymore. Whether it was a relationship, you're just having a bad day, you just want to go home, get in that snuggly buggly blanket, you just want to hide from the world. I think that can be good and bad. For me, I kind of have turned into a hermit, and that's not a healthy way to camouflage yourself. I think is what this means to me. I can't say for you, but for me, it means when the world gets too big, yes, pull yourself out. You don't have to be a part of the negativity. You don't have to be a part of that circle that's bringing you down. If you're at your job, you don't have to engage in all the negativity. And it's easy to say, oh, just go do something positive. Just take a walk around the block, or oh, do just this or that. Go have a margarita on the beach. That would be great though. But I think it means don't put yourself in situations that are just going to drag you down all the time. Make sure you're doing healthy things to camouflage yourself from the negativity in the world. Take time for yourself. Get rid of those people that aren't good in your life. And it's easier said than done. But those are the things that we have to do in order to survive. A butterfly has to camouflage in order to survive because they're so delicate. You just touch their wings and that's pretty much the end of their life. That's how delicate they are. So you have to think of yourself as a butterfly. If I have too many people touching my wings and I'm trying to fly and I'm just trying to go about my day and, floating around in, my perfect world, you have to learn to camouflage yourself in an appropriate way so you can still have happiness in your life. Because if you camouflage too much, and like Sarah Lama said, it's like mudding. I never heard the word mudding before, but it's like you're covering yourself with all these layers of mud so people can't see you anymore, or people can't read you or feel you, or whatever the case may be. So be careful how you camouflage yourself. So it says, when a butterfly enters your dreams or meditations, it can be a sign that it's time to mimic or copy visual themes in your natural environment to thrive. That's where I'm at in life. When I lost my daughter, my world changed forever. And I haven't been able to step out of that madness. I have good days. But like how this talks about camouflaging yourself or mudding yourself, I don't do it as graceful as a butterfly. So my spirit guides again are telling me, do something different. Protect yourself, but do it in a positive way. So awaken a new sensory awareness. Butterflies taste with their feet. They are also thought to not hear sound, but to feel the vibration. If a butterfly has shown up in your life, it could be a sign to explore new and different ways to sense information in your environment. So I think that's where my empath comes into play. And I'm gonna kind of mull that one over for a little while. and see how that is relevant to me. Yeah, I read this list and I'm like, oh, that's me. But now I have to really take the time after this and really dig into it to see what that means for me. I certainly don't taste with my feet because I have no feeling in my feet. But I kind of understand, because I think in this life, I come to believe that we're energy. And I've learned that there is vibration in energy. There's different densities to that energy. And I learned that from Sarah. And I'm going to go research that a lot more because it made sense to me. I can't really explain how that will make sense to you, but I hope you'll find something in that. But then, of course, they talk about your third eye chakra may be opening. So they always talk about this third eye. And I think is what that means to me is that, like, yeah, we see everything, we think stuff, we feel things, we say things, but we're not really opening up our entire mind to the extent that we were supposed to be. And that goes back to all the noise in the world, all the stuff that you're going through. And we forget to see things. We forget to hear things. We forget to sit and maybe even meditate and calm ourselves and look at the bigger picture and look beyond, for lack of better words, all the bullshit in our life. We have to start opening that third eye. So we're not just getting that surface information, that surface visual, that surface whatever. We need to calm our minds down. We need to open up that third eye, whatever that looks like. We have to listen to our sixth sense. Go sit in the environment, ground yourself. People ask me, did you ground yourself today? I'm like, no, I don't even know how to ground myself. But I do, because if you've ever noticed me, anybody that knows me, you notice that I don't wear shoes a lot. So I'm either in slippers, I'm in socks, or I'm barefooted. I don't wear typical shoes that most people wear because I feel like I am inadvertently grounding and I don't know it. But it's very important to go ground yourself. And I absolutely love Epsom salt bath. That's, if I do ground and I know I'm doing it, I think that's the one thing that I do. But most of the time in my life, I am not wearing shoes, and it's probably why they hurt all the time. But seeing a butterfly appear in dreams or meditations can be a sign that a new form of vision, like a clairvoyant abilities and inner sight, may be opening up to you. So with this empathic thing, I can't explain why I feel certain things. I can't explain why I feel people's energy. I can't explain why I absorb stuff. I can't explain, like, when we go on an investigation, I know exactly where all the energy is going to be. And I can't explain why every once in a while I do have a message for some people, but it doesn't come in the form of words. And I can't explain why people gravitate to me, except for the simple fact that I think I'm easy to approach, but that doesn't explain what an empath is to me. So I think for me, and all the stuff I've been doing over the last couple of years, maybe my third eye is starting to open up, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I mean, I am, but I'm also kind of afraid of it too, because I really, it's a lot of change, and when you're not used to thinking about those things, it can kind of be a little freaky. So take advantage of the little mud puddles near you. Butterflies drink an all-liquid diet on mostly nectar. However, to get vital minerals and salts, they also will drink from mud puddles. This behavior is called puddling and common among males. So they're saying don't overlook the small mud puddles near you. When a butterfly comes to you, it may indicate it's time to take advantage of the small resource puddles you have near you, wherever you may find them. So what does that mean? Well, when it's April showers, I'm going to go out and run and jump in the mud puddles. I think that just means take advantage of those little things that are being thrown in your direction, even if it's short-lived. When I was at the Paracon, this guy kept coming in and out of our area where our booth was, and then when everybody cleared away, he finally came to me and he sat down. I invited him to sit down because I could tell there was something going on. And then he unloaded his whole story on me, which was great because, we had similar things in our lives happen and we were talking to each other. And even though in that moment I might have felt a little bored, to me, there was that little mud puddle that was my chance to not only talk to somebody about their their things, I could relate to them and share my stories with them, and we both got something out of it. So don't ignore those little things that you're thinking, like, why is this guy coming to my booth and feels like he's stalking me, and he's really not, or just a simple hello from somebody during the day, or somebody that might want to open the door for you at the store. I mean, this could mean so many things. Mud puddles are mud puddles, and they're always fun. So don't ignore those things. I think too many times we miss the opportunity in our everyday life, and we don't appreciate those little things because we're just always in a hurry. We're just always in a hurry. Take the time to say hi to somebody that you don't know. Take the time to say hi to a homeless person. You don't have to give them your whole life. I don't know. Pet a dog. Go see a turtle. I don't know. Just take the time and don't miss those little things. And like I said, so often we do, and I know I do. And I'll look back on my day and I'm like, dang, I should have did something different with that moment. But I also can't hold on to that moment either. I just have to remind myself to not miss it the next time. So a reminder that life is short. Boy, do I know that. I remember being in my 30s and going, what am I going to be like when I'm 50? Well, guess what? Now I'm over 50. And that went really fast. I felt like I blinked and life was here and gone, and you can't get that time back. Don't waste your time on nonsense. And I've done plenty of it. I could write a book on how to successfully waste time. So butterflies only really live so long in their adult life. And if you've ever gone down to Turtle Bay and went into the butterfly thing they do, it's really amazing. But they do live a very short life. In the bigger scheme of things, we think 80 years is a long time, and it's really not. It comes and it goes. So I guess in all of that, like this says, because of the short lifespan, embrace your life. Live every day like it was your last day. So I watched a guy on a podcast as well. He goes, what would you do if you knew, if you knew you were dying today? What would you do? What would be on your bucket list? What would you do? So he said, I'm not telling you to be financially irresponsible, but I'm telling you, don't wait till after the fact. Do the things today that you would do if you knew you were dying today. So that means don't waste time. Doesn't mean you have to be financially responsible. You can't take every penny with you when you die. So go do something that you've always wanted to do within your means. And then if you can't, just save for it. I mean, if we really wanted to do things bad enough, we could push all that away and do the things we want, because life is short. We only get to do this one time. And with the way the world is right now, man, get to do those things you wanted to do with your kids. Go on that trip, go on that walk with them, paint their nails, do that manicure, throw the ball to your son, whatever that little thing is, whatever you wanted to do with your person today, do it. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate. Because even like with my own children, man, there were so many things I wanted to do, but I got so caught up in the noise out here, I didn't get to do those things. And now with my oldest daughter, it's too late. And I can't relive that time through her children. I have to now make new memories for the children I have and guide them and direct them. And like I said, it's easier to sit here and say that than it is to do it. But my spirit guides, my little butterflies are, flying around telling me to get my crap together. So number 8, toxicity and vibrancy can be beneficial. So they say in some spiritual communities, being toxic and loud and proud is bad. And you're supposed to stay humble, stay in your own lane. I don't really know what that means right now. Toxicity and vibrancy can be beneficial. I would imagine that being vibrant, that would be kind of a slippery slope for me, because you don't want to be too toxic. And you definitely don't want to be toxic to anybody, but you want to be a strong person. You take being toxic as a strong person could be good, I guess, in a way that it keeps you safe. You set your boundaries. You keep other people in their lanes and don't let them overstep that boundary or come into your lane and mess it up and all that. So being a strong person is not a bad thing. People might look at it as being toxic, but if you're being toxic in a negative way, I could see where that would fit. That is something I'd have to think on a little bit. So, number 9, new beginnings are coming. For me, the new beginning came a long time ago. I just didn't see it as a positive thing because, unfortunately, my new beginning started out of the death of my daughter. Actually, it started out when my daughter got sick. Um, so I just didn't know how to make that a new beginning and how to find a way to move forward in that. So I don't have any more time to waste. I have to wake up. I have to accept the way things are. Um, my child is in a better place. I truly believe that. I don't believe she's gone. And I have been given many signs, and my spirit guides have whopped me on the head plenty of times to say, knock it off. And again, easier said than done. But we have to find ways to move forward and be grateful for the day we have today, because we may not wake up tomorrow. So new beginnings are coming. Keep your eyes open. So at the end of the chrysalis phase, an old body is cast off and a new body emerges. The old body can be equated to letting go of an old consciousness or way of being coming forward. So for me, I've not shed that old little body off. I would like to shed off some of my belly fat, but I'm working on that. But I have to shed that old skin. How do I do that? I don't know yet. And I'm hoping through this journey, and maybe you guys leaving comments, reach out to me, go to our webpage, www.paranormaltriage.com, email me, and share thoughts. And one day out of all this, we'll do a podcast and we can all come on and talk about it, or request a podcast. If you want to come on and talk about some of these things, please do reach out to me. I'd love to have your opinion. I'm learning all of this as I'm sitting here talking to you, and this is completely out of my wheelhouse because I am so insecure about speaking. But I want to share my story, and I want other people to be uplifted, especially in the days that we're in right now. We really need that. We really need to come together, irregardless of our political beliefs or labels or whatever. I don't really own labels, but I have one. So I'm kind of stuck with it right now. But we do need to come together and talk about these things. Maybe we all have a better idea of getting rid of the old skin and getting into a new one and being accepting of ourselves and just being happy in the day that we're in. So number 10, a sign of good luck. I could use some good luck. I've had good luck, I think. Doesn't feel like good luck, but I'm pretty sure it's there. So butterflies can be a positive omen, a sign of good luck, especially when undergoing a transformation of change. If you have been through a period of spiritual growth, they can confirm that your process of metamorphosis, the word I didn't want to say, is coming to completion. Now, I'm far from being complete, and I think every day is a work of progress, or a work in progress, a progress. It takes a long time. It's frustrating, it's emotional, it's confusing, but I think if we just stay on task and we let all this garbage go in our lives and we stop listening to the world and just be around the people that matter the most, I think we will all get there someday. And it's more important now than ever. So I guess that's about all I have to say. Beautiful butterfly right there. Love it. I have some pictures of butterflies I took trying to learn how to use my camera. But that's a pretty cool picture right there. So I hope you got something out of this. I will drop another video. I'm not sure when. I just kind of had an epiphany today that this was the day I needed to start this, whether it was good, bad, disorganized, didn't make sense, made sense. I hope you got something out of it. And like I said, please go to my webpage. My email's on there. Reach out to me if any of you out there want to get together and do a live podcast so we can talk. that would be really awesome. So have a good day, and I will see you on the next video.